You're listening to Improv-ing Business on Web Talk Radio, where personal and business finance take a front row seat. I'm Brandon.
Hello, this is Rick.
And today we'll be talking about policies, processes, and procedures, how they can save companies and even lives. Many people who run small businesses are doing so by the seat of their pants. They're sort of reacting day to day, seeing what happens, and going along without a plan in mind, and they wonder why their companies struggle. We've talked a lot about strategic planning, long-term planning for companies, but today we're going to be going closer to a sort of day-to-day outlook on what happens in the company during daily operations. And the way that these operations break down are on three specific levels: the policy level, the processes level, and the procedures level.
Today we're going to be doing what we always do, and that is using a story as an analogy to how to run your business. And this story today actually deals with a part of our lives, my wife and I, as we volunteer on horseback to patrol for the rangers in the National Park Service, the California State Park Service, and the Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority, which are all located in the beautiful Santa Monica National Recreation Area just outside of Los Angeles. Because what better organization to talk about policy, processes, and procedures than our governments? A little bit of a background is that these three government agencies have volunteers. Now, they have bicycle volunteers, and they have people that are like your visitor volunteers that meet you at the gates.
The information center and things like
that. Right. And people who are involved in digging up and planting plants and doing things like that. But they also have the Mounted Volunteer Patrol, also known as, you've guessed it,
the Mounties.
No, MVP.
Oh, okay.
If it was the Mounties, then I could, do my
Dudley Do-Right impression.
Oh, no! But anyway, the MVPs are a bunch of volunteers who put a lot of time into training. And there are policies, processes, and procedures that go into this training and this whole program that are really under the radar from the park visitor that comes to the national or state parks. But before getting into the actual type of policies and processes and procedures, the story that we have is actually about a rescue. My wife and I were patrolling on horseback on our Tennessee Walkers. One is white, brown, and black, and the other one is a roan chestnut type red, at the Nicholas Flats State Park. We were in the parking lot type of end of a road section where it disappears kind of into the park. We were talking to one of the visitors, and a young man about 28 to 30 came running out from a trail to a parked car. And he got up to the car, and he looked inside the windows, and he tried to open the door, and it was locked. And he pounded his hands, or fists, that is, on the windows. So I turned to him, I said, "Did you lock your keys in the car?" And he looked like he was in a state of panic, and he said, "Have you seen a woman run by here?" And I said, "No, we haven't." "Well, that's my wife, and she has the car keys, and water is in the car. And my mother, who is, I think he said, maybe 70 years old, is having problems with the heat because it was 90 degrees at this point." He started to tell us that they were hiking down in Leo Carrillo State Beach, which, if some of you may know, is just a little west of Malibu at the Ventura County line. And it was fine. It was about 75 degrees, 70 degrees. And decided to...
By the beach.
Right, because they were by the beach. You have all the fog coming in, as we know in California, type of overcast. And he decided to get in the car and drive up to the other state park, Nicholas Flats, which is about 1,000 feet elevation, I believe. But little did they know that they were coming outside of the marine layer at 1,000 feet elevation, and the temperature went from 75 degrees into the 90s.
It's much drier up there as well.
Right. And now, even at this place, there's no water at all. Even the lake that's there is completely dry. I asked him, lead us back to her. So he started running down this trail, and we actually got into a lope with our horses trying to keep up with him.
He was